Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be reading Chapter 3 of The Last Page on Earth. Last time, we finished reading Chapter 2. So, yeah, let's just get into this right now. Also, something I noticed is that, some of the chapters seem to have titles while others don't. Okay, here is chapter 1. No title. Chapter 2. Jack's high in the Shaddai impenetrable tree fortress of power. I don't know, maybe this isn't like the title of the chapter. Maybe they just maybe there's a part of the words here. It just has a bigger font. Okay, this part, it ends with like a bunch of dots. So maybe it leads into this one. I don't know. It didn't really seem that way, but and yeah, no, none of the other chapters seem to have that. So I guess it's probably what I thought about. So yeah, let's get right into this right now.
Chapter 3. It's dusk, and the sun is setting, all orange like a dreamsicle. Rays of late afternoon light shine through the treehouse windows, and the little wind chime from home goods I hung out front is dinging away. I'm huddled around the busted walkie, trying to repair it with my new tiny little screwdriver. Note, it's called a walkie, not a walkie-talkie. I think my repair job is doing pretty well. Ouch! The walkie communicates with only one person, Clint Baker. Clint Baker it is my best friend. My only friend. When I first moved to Wakefield last winter, Clint was the only kid who'd talk to me. When you're a foster kid and you bounce all around the place, you become used to getting by without friends. But Clint and I, we were like some yados. We just clicked. Clint gave me the walkie, one half of a pair, for my birthday. Best birthday present I ever got. Ever. Since my foster parents were no way giving me a cell phone, and Clint's not-so parents were convinced cell phones made your brain melt, the walkies were the only way Clint and I could talk outside of school. But now I'm afraid Clint is gone. The day everything happened, well, we split up. Now he's probably zombified or heading out west along with everyone else in town. When everything first happened, I heard it was safer out west. I haven't heard anything about that since, like, day 4. So who knows? But still, there's a chance Clint is alive somewhere, and this walkie could reach him. So I cannot click. 7 finger burns later, I got the walkie working. I squeezed the button, and it let out a soft hiss that tells me it's transmitting. Clint, it's Jack. Finally got my walkie working. I have no idea if you're out there, but if you are, well, let me know, buddy. Then I really lonely over here. I wait a few minutes. No response. A few more minutes. Still no response. I head to bed. My bed is a pile of sweatshirts and shorts and towels in the corner of the treehouse. I plop down and trail up under my one blanket. It's pretty warm out still, but I didn't need to be under a blanket when I sleep. I mean, a blanket isn't gonna do anything than winged rat or a dozer, but it still feels safer. Soon I drift off to sleep, and I have nightmares. Nightmares that feel real. Nightmares about the morning 42 days ago, when the monster came and everything changed. 42 days ago. It was a regular morning, early June. After duel, do you want to use shit lightsabers and sword fight and film it? So we can add special effects later and make our own movie? Yes, Clint. Yes, I do. Shibu was almost over, and everyone had that summer vapay fever feeling. Like freedom was just around the corner. I only half had it because summer vacation for me meant a whole lot more time at home with the Robinsons, which was a recipe for zero fun having and heavy lawn mowing duty. I remember just before it happened, the bus pulling up in front of the school. I remember too that Clint was eating this rotten smelling egg salad sandwich. I can still smell it now, yet the odor had been tattooed to my nostrils. And I remember Dirt Savage coming towards us, filling the bus aisle, thick and towering, casting a long shadow. Dirt Savage was the most infamous bully at Parker Middle School. I think he came out of the womb with facial hair. Gretchen Taggett. He moved here from Detroit, and his parents just left him. They split because he kept bullying them, and he took up in a shop by himself way out in Wakefield Woods. He only shows up at school to steal lunch money from other bullies. Dirt looked down at Clint and growled. Kid, your sandwich should be like Shadrell butt. Clint squinted up at Dirt. He didn't say anything. I mean, how do you respond to that? Dirt snatched the sandwich from Clint's hand and jammed it in, which he had just described as having the odor of Shadrell butt into his mouth. It stinks, Dirt said, grinning a fat grin, tumbling from his big, glare face. But it don't taste too bad. I felt myself getting hot, heart beating faster, angry blood replacing regular blood, pumping through me. I stood up, tried to stay calm, handle it cool. I felt Clint's hand on my shirt, trying to stop me, saying, "Jack, it's fine." But it wasn't fine. I hate jerks, whether they're monster jerks, or zombie jerks, or just regular human jerks. Hey, Dirt, why don't you pick on someone your own size, huh? Try me someone my own size and I will. I shrugged. I'm sure we can find someone your size, right, Clint? Clint looked out the window and closed his eyes and started humming to himself, if he wasn't involved in this. Son of a, I turned back to Dirt. Maybe a really rotund panda bear. That might be closer to your impressive figure. Dirt leaped out and grabbed me by my collar. Hey, want the jacket? I said. It's a 5-time hand-me-down. Might even be an antique. Dirt growled. You think you're funny. I do. But to be fair, I also think guys slipping on ice are funny. And guys getting hit in the groin. My sense of humor isn't exactly sophisticated. Dirt's about to slug me when a high-pitched scream cuts through the air. There's always screaming in the morning, outside school, People messing around, shoving, chasing, teasing, and they were laughing so loud it sounds like dreaming. But this dream was different. It was a dream of pure horror. Dirt released me, and I leaned over Clint and pressed my face to the window, and I saw zombies. I remember thinking, this can't be real. It must be a prank, a joke, a reality show, right? So I said to Clint, this can't be real, right? It must be a prank, a joke, a reality show, right? But it wasn't. That was it. The monster apocalypse had begun. Next, there was a Godzilla sounding howl like, wow. And the whole bus suddenly shifted. I was thrown into dirt, and Clint was lifted out of the seat and spun out into the aisle. The bus driver, a nice white-haired dude, was sobbing like a newborn. The bus became darker. Something was covering the windows, wrapping around the bus. A monster hand. The monster tilted the bus so the bat pointed toward the sky. We all pinballed, plummeting down the aisle, smashing into the seat. Backpacks flying through the air. We came to a sudden, painful stop. Emily put on the bus, piled against the front door in a big heap. Clint! I managed. I could barely breathe. Kids were all over me. An armpit in my face, a foot on my head, an ear on my nose. Clint, what's happening? I'm not sure, Jack, Clint said. Clint always had the answer to everything. This time, he didn't. That almost scared me more than the monster. Almost. This monster's hulking paw screamed the bus like there was an empty Pringles can, and the front door opened with a loud metal pop, dumping us out onto the parking lot pavement. My face bounced off the cement, nose bleeding, blood down onto my lips and onto my tongue. I scrambled to my feet, pulling Clint with me, leading us away from the thick cloud and the dreaming. This was my nightmare now. That was a nightmare then. I got my bearings and looked around and total monster zombie chaos. One single beautiful angelic face stood out in the mass of fleeing people. June Del Toro. I spotted a zombie stumbling towards her, coming up from behind. June! I screamed, my voice cracked as I strained to shout across the parking lot. Behind you! June turned, dodged the stumbling falling zombie, left it sprawled out onto the floor, and darted into the stool. We all died. And then the door slammed shut. I said to myself then that whatever happened, whatever came next, somehow I'd get back to the stool and find June. Where to, Jack? Clint asked, snapping me out of it. Joe's Pizza? I did it 2 for 1 slicey today. Jack, be serious. Well, I don't know. Monster zombie chaos is new to me. I just, run. And we did. We sprinted away from the school bus and the giant monster and the hordes of zombies. We hopped the fence into the soccer field and fled to the woods beyond it. Clint, I said, catching my breath and pulling him behind the tree. We need to find some place to go. Like the police station or something. Or we need like G.I. Joe or the Avenger to show up. Or Iron Man, something. Iron Man isn't real, Jack. Robert Downey Jr. is real. I bet he did help. Jack! Sorry, you're right. He's probably bigger than famous and shit. Clint groaned. My parents are on vacation. I have a babysitter. I'll go to my house, assess the situation. You run to yours. I nodded. Clint held up his walkie. We should stay in touch on these at all times, he said. Deal. I would try to stay calm, be placid, cool, Jack Sullivan, but my heart was pounding and it felt like my whole body was shaking. Talk soon, friend. You bet. When I got home, the car was gone and there were tire marks in the driveway. My family was gone. I climbed up into the treehouse. In my panic, I sort of tapped onto the treehouse poster table and knocked the walkie off. The walkie bounced on the ground and out the door. I yearned for it, but smash! I stared at the walkie on the ground below. I needed to talk to Clint, but I'm embarrassed to admit I was too scared to go down, too freaked out, too overwhelmed, too everything. So I trailed up on the floor, pulled a jacket down over me. I put my headphones in to drown out the sound of chaos outside, and I slept. I slept for days. It got worse. Zombies everywhere. Giant monsters on the horizon. I blacked out the treehouse windows and stayed put. There was an old HM/FM radio in the treehouse. For the first few days, news people tried to explain what was happening. I munched on stale sit-out cookies and potato chips while I listened to the radio guys say it was safer out west. But then, on the fifth day, there was no more radio. So then, I went back to sleep. Just like I'm sleeping now. When I finally worked up the courage to go out and do some exploring, it had been 9 days since the madness in the school parking lot. And in those 9 days, everything had collapsed. A clacking, hissing noise wakes me up from my flashback nightmare. I blinked twice, not sure what's happening, not sure where I am. And then, what the huh? I say, sitting up, rubbing at my eyes. It's gone. The sun is rising, blinding me. And then, I slowly shake off the morning confusion. I remember where I am. In the treehouse. 43 days after the monster apocalypse began. And that sound, that turn, I realized, it's the walkie. I leap to my feet, almost. One leg is asleep. I fall, slam my knee to the floor, but shake it off because I'm smooth like that. I half sprint, half limp through the treehouse. Moving so fast, I banged my head on the doorway. I practically dive for the walkie. Jack, come in. Are you there? Jack's here. Jack on the mic. The voice on the other end of the walkie says, Jack, my friend, it's me. It's Clint. Clint, he's alive. But wait. A horrible, terrible, mind-poisoning thought entered my mind. Could it be a zombie trap? It's a trap. Could the zombies and monsters have started to talk? If they had, this would be the perfect ruse to lure me to my doom. So I say, Clint, buddy your pal. Clint question. You're alive, right? You're not, like, on bed trying to trick me or anything, are you? I am very much alive, chat. Whew. Wait. That is exactly what an undead Clint would say. Need to play this one too. Clint, what's your favorite food, I asked? Brains. No. But then the Lottie budges again, and Clint says, "Ha! Just kidding, friend. Brussel sprout surprise. Phew, I'm so relieved that my best only friend is alive, that I don't bust his chops about the fact that he's 13 years old, and his favorite food is Brussels sprout surprise." Dude, it's really you? I exclaim. Indeed it is. Shall we meet? I have much to show you. That's how Clint talks. He fancies himself a scientist, so apparently that means he needs to talk like an old geezer from the 18s. Don't ask. Yes, I say. Hangout time, right? Before all this mess. What should we do? Video games? I have a generator for electricity. Yes, video games, Clint says. We can play here. I'll see you in a short while, Jack. I smile, ear to ear, literally the corner of my lips touching my earlobes. Clint, that's the best sentence I've ever heard in my life. We over and out, and then I get to really waking up. Yawn, stretch, pee, touch my toes, hot and beauty, splash water on my face. Okay. Yawn, stretch, pee, touch my toes, hot and beauty, splash water on my face from the bucket of rainwater I keep outside. Time to plot a route to Clint's house, and a new entry to add to my sheet of apocalyptic success. In my treehouse command center, I have a chalkboard I nabbed from the local elementary school after I finally remember how brave I was and went out to explore. It's one of those giant ones that can flip around so you can write on both sides. It's super handy. Plus, I feel like an old World War II general every time I use it. Men, I will not lie to you. Not all of you will come back from this mission. Last week, while exploring the library, I found an old map of the town, like from the 1950s. I taped the map to the chalkboard and sketched out my own little notes with important notations. I gotta learn more about the monsters and the general horrible things out there. I update it. Here's what I have so far. Map of Wakefield, Home Depot, Old Bridge, home to the Octo Beast. The Trailey, home to the Stone Tower Monster. CVS, Blarn's home. Treehouse, you are here. Train track, home of the tentacle demon. Clint's house. Town park, now thick with vine thingies. The old box factory, known Dozier Layer. Big Al's Junk Palace, Zombie Cluster. The Dots, Sea Monsters. The Dots, Sea Monsters. Parker Middleton, current inhabitants unknown. I plot a route to Lynch. Then I shoot up. Right now, my shoe is pretty extra super terrible and lame. More like a last minute Halloween costume than something actually useful for trying to survive. The only not lame part of the outfit is the weapon. A monster slayer needs good weapons. I mostly use this busted baseball bat, the one I got bored in the head with. I call it the Louisville Slicer because it used to be a Louisville Slugger, but now it's splintered and sharp and slicing things and, well, you get it. Louisville Slicer, electric tape, for prime monster slaying flaming drip. Those are dots, monster teeth, razor sharp. But I only use the Louisville Shredder on big monsters, not on zombies. See, I have a toad, and the toad says I don't cut up zombies. Zombies used to be people. I mean, it's not their fault they're zombies now. I'm not doubting the things that used to be people in the head with a splintered sword thing. Just not kosher. So for zombie fighting, I use a busted old hockey stick. Just a whack to the noggin, and I keep moving. I used to have a wrist rocket, basically just a super slick slingshot, but our science teacher, Mr. Mondo, took it on the third day of school. And my shoes. A really annoying thing happened with my shoes. My foster mom gave me these hand-me-down shoes called light shop. They had these little red lights that flashed every time you took a step. Basically, they were kindergartners. The first night I wore them out to play flashlight tag with Clint, I realized they weren't just Dork Town. They were putting me at a tactical disadvantage. I see you, Jack. Again. You're it. Again. Stupid shoes. One night, after putting up the worst flashlight tag stats in my career, I got to work trying to slice out the light, but that just made them sort of hang out of the shoe and get a whole lot lighter. And then things got worse. At school, stupid Nick the Rockbridge told me his cousin Silvio the Rockbridge's ex-girlfriend Matthew's daughter stepped in a puddle wearing his lights up, and the water got into the light, and he got electrocuted. Zap! He was fried right there on the spot. Not good. So I wrapped the shoes in duct tape so you couldn't see the light. They may be ugly, but at least they won't get me fried. Anyway, Clint is like a super genius. So I'm hoping he can give my whole getup, especially the shoes, a bit of a Robocop type upgrade. Because right now, this is me, and I need some help. Jack Sullivan, the hero. Annoying hangnail I can't stop picking at. Hockey stick with taunting enemy head. Louisville Slicer. Emergency peanut M&M pouch. Worst shoes ever. Grapefruit juice hand grenades. A blast to the eye blinds mostly anything. And that is the end of chapter 3. Stay tuned for the review at the end.
Okay, everybody, we just finished reading chapter 3 of The Last Kids on Earth. So, yeah, this was definitely the longest chapter I have done so far. Well, actually, maybe it isn't, because it starts at page 32 and ends at page 57. So I might do some math on that later. But yeah, this chapter introduces us to a whole new character. It introduces us to Clint Baker, who is Jack Sullivan's best friend. But not only that, we also learn about another character, Dirt Savage. So yeah, he is a bully, which is interesting because she is also on the cover. So right now, we have met one character, we've heard about another, we've talked to this one, and we had a flashback with this one. So now we have filled out our kids, so I can't wait to see them all actually interact with each other now. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting. This chapter definitely had emotional appeal, I believe. It also had a whole flashback to the whole thing, the first day of the zombie apocalypse. So yeah, pretty good. Definitely the longest one I've done. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time for chapter 4. Bye!